Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about a judge ordering mental health evaluation for Ivanna Lisette Ortiz, and that is Rihanna's home shooter. Now, on Tuesday, a judge paused the prosecution of a woman charged with the attempted murder of Rihanna and more than a dozen other felonies, and the case was sent to a mental health court that will determine whether or not she's competent enough to stand trial. As you guys can recall, the shooting at Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion took place on Sunday, March 8th at around 1:20 p.m., right? As I've said, the suspect in this case is Ivanna Lisette Ortiz. She was officially arrested later that day, and on May 19th, 2026, a judge ordered a mental health evaluation to determine her competency and whether or not she's fit enough to stand trial, right? Now, there's a lot that's going on because, as you guys can recall, it was a few days ago that it was revealed that when Ivanna Lisette Ortiz drove up to the property, yes, she did a shooting from the outside, she started blazing wild. ASAP Rocky was asleep. Riri and Rocky were in the Airstream trailer. Rocky was asleep, and Riri had to shove Rocky off the bed onto the floor, and she was telling Rocky, don't move, don't get up. They're shooting at us because she didn't know what was going on. And based on how the shots were being fired, she thought that this had to be at least a few people out there shooting at us, right? And it is said that a total of 20 bullets. You'll see some reports saying 10, you'll see some reports saying 20, but it was 20 bullets that were fired total, 10 of which hit Rihanna's home. One of the bullets hit inside her home. The other 5 were between the two neighbors, between Rihanna. One on the left, one on the right. The other 10, right? So that's how there are 20 bullets in total. Now, it is said that, so we're going to dive into this report to give you guys some more information. Like who? Have you guys seen that video that I did earlier today? In that video, let me tell you, Riri is in Paris, and she was coming out of her vehicle. The bodyguard was already out. A paparazzi said, Riri, excitingly. But Riri was about to step out, and she stepped right back in the vehicle. The security had to come get her, and that's when she felt comfortable enough to enter the building, right? Now, since the home shooting, Ivanna Lisette Ortiz, she's a speech pathologist. She has lost her license to practice. She has completely lost custody of her son. But this is another step because this woman has been out here raising havoc on other people, so much so to the point where the federal state police in Florida had to put her in a involuntary hold. She was institutionalized by the state. So she has a history of tormenting and harassing people and doing these things. So as such, what they have done now is to order that she be sent to another court. The case has been sent to another court. Now, what Complex is saying, according to court records viewed by Complex, a PC 1368 competency hearing is scheduled for June 2nd at Hollywood Courthouse. For those unfamiliar, this type of hearing aims to determine whether a defendant is mentally fit to stand trial. Remember, she says that she's not guilty. Even though she did it, she's not guilty because they want this insanity to work out in Ivanna Lisette Ortiz's favor, because if she's not guilty, what she's saying is that she has no recollection of doing such thing, right? So while she did it, she's saying she did not do it consciously and she had no intention of deleting Rihanna or anyone, right? Because she's mentally unwell. She just went on a parade, but she had no intention of deleting anyone. And if I can see the play in this, Riri's attorney can, because listen, when people speak about something that's so sensitive, I listen and I pay attention, because if you were not cognizant of what you did, how do you know where your intention lied at the time? How do you know what was your intent at the time? You're going to plead not guilty because, oh, you had no intentions of deleting anyone, but you weren't 100% clear. Your mental health wasn't all there. If your mental health wasn't all there, how could you have known what was your intention? That does not make any sense and it's not adding up. And I hope that she stands trial and she is given the full force of the law against her, because this is not okay. So they're saying, for those unfamiliar, this type of hearing aims to determine whether a defendant is mentally fit to stand trial. The process of determining a defendant's competency, in this case that of Ortiz, leads to a pause in criminal prosecution proceedings until a determination is made. This report from Associated Press adds a bit more details, including that a public defender representing Ortiz had expressed concerns over the mental competency of their client during a meeting in Judge Shannon K. Coley chambers this week. When reached for comment by Complex on Wednesday, May 20th, the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office confirmed that a doubt was declared, adding that the next hearing is indeed set for June 2nd. So they're saying after that meeting in the judge chambers, they all had some kind of reservation if whether or not she's competent enough to stand trial. So they're saying Complex has also reached out to Ortiz lawyers for additional comment, but nothing. The story may change or update as they go further. Now they're saying in March, the DA's office announced that Ortiz, accused of firing a semi-automatic rifle at Rihanna's home earlier that month, had been charged with 1 count of attempted murder plus additional counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. Open fire in any populated neighborhood is extremely dangerous, put lives at risk, and will be fully prosecuted, Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan J. Hockman said at the time. Thankfully, no one was injured in this shooting, but this careless violence will not be tolerated in our community. Such shooters will find their next destination to be our jails and prison. Both Riri and Rocky were on the property at the time of the shooting and were their 3 children. If convicted as charged, Ortiz could face a life sentence. She has pled not guilty. I want her to get the life sentence. You know why? This woman has been blazing guns out here. She has been a nemesis to a lot of people. And when she was doing all of that madness, no one saw it fit to get this woman checked into a asylum. But now that things have gone left and it has gotten so serious, she has attorneys, which tells you that, I don't know if it's the family, I don't know if it's sponsorship, but there are people who are stepping up to help her. Why did you wait until she got in trouble before you step up to help this woman? Why didn't you step up to help her all this time she was being a nemesis? Why wasn't she in a conservatorship? I have so many questions. So as such, I think that she definitely deserves life in prison. And I think, I want to say her close family should be held accountable as well, because what's their reason for leaving her unattended? She is not new to this. She is true to this. What's their reason for leaving her just out here guns blazing, almost taking that woman's life and her kids and her man and her mom and the nanny and the cook, because the cook was in the house as well, and everyone was diving for the kids. The kids, can you imagine the kids being frightened, not knowing what to do? My God. Risa is 4, so Risa may remember this. Some people think that you don't remember anything at the age 4. That's not true. That's not true. I remember things from when I was 4 years old. The memory's not so sunny bright, but it's there. It's there, okay? But I do hope that she's darn held accountable for her actions. But let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Peace.